You were never meant to fit in. Since the day you took your first breath, something has been different. You felt it, haven't you? That weight on your chest, that restless fire in your soul, that undeniable whisper telling you that you are not like the others, because you were chosen. Not by chance, not by luck, but by something far greater than this world can comprehend. And now, the universe has brought you here, to this very moment, to hear this message. This is no accident. Because if you are one of the chosen ones, then you already know life was never going to be easy for you. You have seen things others refuse to acknowledge. You have felt what most cannot begin to understand. You have walked a path that others fear to even glimpse. The world around you, it was never built for you. The mundane, the routine, the scripted lives of those who follow without question, that is not your destiny. They want you blind. They want you weak. They want you to believe that you are just another soul lost in the crowd. But deep down, you know better. Because the truth has been clawing at the edges of your mind, demanding to be seen. This is why you have never been able to accept the lies. This is why you have always questioned everything. This is why your soul has been screaming for something more. Because you were never meant to be ordinary. The signs have always been there, pulling at the fabric of your existence, trying to shake you awake. Maybe you've seen them. Maybe you've ignored them. But now, there is no more time for denial. Because being chosen is not a privilege. It is not a gift wrapped in golden light. It is a burden, a responsibility, a war waged within your very being. The forces that move through this world, the ones that shape destinies and tear apart illusions, they do not pick their warriors lightly. And yet here you are, drawn to this message, drawn to the truth. The question is, will you listen? Or will you turn away like so many before you, clinging to the comfortable lie? The time has come to see, to remember, to rise. Because chosen ones do not beg for understanding. They do not seek permission. They do not wait for the world to accept them. They become the storm. And whether you are ready or not, the storm is coming. You feel it, don't you? That shift in the air, that pulse in your bones, that unshakable sensation that something is watching, waiting, moving. The universe does not speak in words. It does not send messages wrapped in convenience or comfort. It shakes you. It tests you. It drags you through the fire until there is nothing left but the truth. And if you are one of the chosen ones, then you know the signs have always been there. Maybe it was the way you saw things differently as a child, the way the world never quite made sense to you the way it seemed to make sense to others, the way you felt out of place, like a foreigner in your own life. While others accepted, you questioned. While others followed, you resisted. While others found comfort in ignorance, you ached for knowledge. You saw through the illusions. You felt the lies creeping beneath the surface of this reality, pressing against your skin like a sickness. You knew, deep in your core, that something was off. And then the tests began. Because to be chosen is not to be blessed with an easy life. It is to be thrown into the fire over and over again, to be stripped of everything false, to be forced to confront the shadows that others spend their lives avoiding. Your relationships? They have never been simple. You have been abandoned, misunderstood, cast aside like an enigma that no one could decipher. You have known betrayal so sharp it felt like your soul was bleeding. You have walked alone when the rest of the world moved in flocks. You have carried wounds that no one could see, scars that were written into your very essence. And yet, you are still here, still standing, still fighting, still searching for the truth. Because you were never meant to break. They tried, didn't they? The world tried to make you small, to make you afraid, to force you into submission. It tried to mold you into something docile, something predictable, something weak. But you resisted, because somewhere deep inside of you, something was awakening. The visions, the knowing, the whispers that arrived in the dead of night, urging you to keep going, keep searching, keep pushing against the false reality they wanted you to accept. And now, here you are, standing at the edge of something vast, something terrifying, something that will change everything you have ever known. Because chosen ones are not meant to live in the comfort of ignorance. They are meant to see. And when you see, you cannot go back. So tell me, are you ready to open your eyes? Are you ready to face the truth? Because the universe is watching, and the time is now. You have always known that you were different, not in a way that made you superior, not in a way that made you proud, but in a way that isolated you. You saw beyond the surface of things. You felt what others could not. And from the very beginning, the universe has been whispering to you, testing you, revealing the truth that most people will never dare to see. Because you are not like them. You are one of the chosen ones. And whether you accept it or not, the signs have been following you, waiting for you to wake up. The first sign: your third eye was never closed. From childhood, you questioned what others accepted. The world told you to believe the news, the rules, the systems, but something inside of you knew it was all an illusion. You have always seen the cracks in the facade, the hidden hands pulling the strings behind the curtain. You sensed when someone was lying, even when they smiled in your face. You felt energy shift in a room before a word was spoken. This is not a coincidence. This is not paranoia. This is clarity. And clarity is a dangerous thing in a world built on deception. The second sign: a normal life has never been enough for you. While others found comfort in routine, in the mindless cycle of working, eating, sleeping, and repeating, you suffocated. You knew, deep in your soul, that life was meant to be more. The idea of blending in, of being another cog in the machine, felt like death itself. You have always craved something beyond this reality, beyond the mundane. And that is why you have never fit in, because you were never meant to. The third sign: you remember things you were never taught. Maybe it comes in flashes, visions, dreams, déjà vu so strong it makes your heart stop. You have knowledge that seems to exist in your bones rather than in your mind. You know things about the world, about existence, about the way things are, but you don't know how you know them. The truth is, you have been here before. The past is not something you left behind. It is something that still moves through you. And the universe is guiding you to remember, because the more you remember, the stronger you become. The fourth sign: you have questioned everything since the beginning. You never accepted things just because you were told to. When others obeyed, you asked why. When others followed, you hesitated. When others accepted their fate, you fought against it. Because deep down you knew, there is no prison stronger than the mind. And to break free, you had to be willing to tear apart everything you thought you knew. The fifth sign: you feel everything deeply. The pain of others, the suffering of the world. It has never been something you could ignore. Even as a child, you sensed the unspoken sadness in people's eyes. You felt the weight of the world pressing against your soul. And while others hardened themselves to survive, you refused. Because compassion is not a weakness. It is a weapon. And you were given this heart, this depth, this pain for a reason. The sixth sign: you do not bow to authority. You have never feared those who demand control. You have never blindly obeyed. And that has made you dangerous. Because control only works on those who believe they are powerless. But you know better. You were born free. And no matter how hard they try, no system, no government, no force will ever break that truth within you. The seventh sign: time does not feel real to you. You have always sensed it. That time is nothing but an illusion. You feel moments stretch and shrink. You lose yourself in thoughts that seem to exist outside of this reality. You know, deep in your being, that the clock is nothing but a lie designed to keep you trapped in a cycle that was never meant for you. Because you are infinite. And the more you awaken, the less this world makes sense. The eighth sign: you have survived what should have destroyed you. The betrayals, the losses, The nights where you swore you would not make it through to the morning. The times when you were broken, when you were certain there was nothing left inside of you to keep going. And yet, here you are, still breathing, still standing. You are not here by accident. You are here because you were meant to be. And the ninth sign, you have chosen love over fear. This world is built on fear. It thrives on it. It feeds on it. And yet, despite everything, despite the darkness that has tried to consume you, you have not given in. You have chosen love, not the fragile, empty kind of love that is spoken in passing, but the real, terrifying, unstoppable kind. The love that burns through illusions, that refuses to conform, that sees beyond this world into what truly matters. The love that liberates. And that is why you are one of the chosen ones. Because the universe does not choose those who are weak. It chooses the warriors, the ones who will burn away the lies, the ones who will bring the truth to light, the ones who will change everything. And now, the only question that remains is, what will you do with the truth? You know now. You feel it in your bones. This is not a coincidence. This message, these words, they found you for a reason. The universe has been calling, whispering, screaming for you to wake up. So tell me, what will you do with this knowledge? Because being chosen is not a gift wrapped in silk. It is a blade forged in fire. It is a burden, a calling, a responsibility that will strip away the weak and leave only the unbreakable. You were not born for mediocrity. You were not sent here to bow, to obey, to fit in. You are here to rise. The signs have been there since the beginning. The visions, the restless nights, the questions that never stopped burning in your mind. The pain that shaped you, the betrayals that hardened you, the love that shattered you and rebuilt you into something stronger. You are no stranger to suffering, and that is exactly why you were chosen. Because only those who have walked through the fire can carry the flame. You see beyond the veil. You know the game. The world, this system, was never built for you. It was designed to keep you asleep, to drown you in distractions, to make you believe you are small, powerless, ordinary. But that lie no longer holds power over you, because you remember who you are. And the moment you remember, they lose control. The ones who manipulate, the ones who deceive, the ones who feed off fear and blind obedience, they tremble when someone like you wakes up. Because a chosen one who has awakened cannot be controlled. A chosen one who is awakened becomes unstoppable. So now, I ask you again, what will you do with this truth? You have two choices. You can turn away, pretend you never heard this, let your old life reclaim you. Go back to the comfort of ignorance, where the days blur into nothingness, where your power remains buried beneath self-doubt. Or, you step forward. You embrace the fire in your soul. You sharpen your mind, your body, your spirit. You refuse to be silenced. You refuse to be broken. The universe does not choose the weak. It does not choose the fearful. It chooses warriors. It chooses those with the strength to see through the illusion and the will to tear it down. You are one of them. The only question left is this: are you ready to become what you were meant to be? Because the time is now. Awaken, rise, and take your place.